So then I used the microphone. Yeah, thank you very much. No more theater, how to push for real innovation in established industries. This does not work. Oh, no. No. I'm Christopher, I'm 33 years old, and I'm the head of innovation at the life insurance of 1871, Lebensversicherung von 1871. I have a bachelor's degree in business and a background in communications too. And before I worked as innovation head of, I was a business consulting medium-sized and large companies on strategy in innovation management. I was asked to share my best practices on how to push for real innovation in established industries. Why me? Actually, insurances are not known for being very innovative. I was in a conference a few months ago and there was a guy that said, actually, there is not happening much for 30 years. No comment on that. But I have some really good advice on how to push for real innovation because I'm doing it now for 3 years already and I want to share my thoughts with you. I would like to have it as an open conversation, so if somebody says, well, I have a question or a comment, just let me know and we can integrate that in the conversation. So, best practices, my best of tips on how to push for real innovation in established companies, in established industries. First of all, understand where your firm is stuck. Does anybody of you know the 3 horizon model of McKinsey? One guy knows it. Basically, I adapted it. McKinsey says your company's activities are divided into 3 horizons. And actually, the real model of McKinsey starts with the first horizon that says you're digitalizing your current business. For established companies like insurance, I needed to invent one horizon, horizon 0. That means you're doing business as usual. But because in established industries, to be honest, many digitalization activities are still in the beginning. And even if you say, well, we are doing it quite well, compared to real digitized industries, you're far behind. So this is quite interesting to use this model in the beginning because as a head of innovation or whoever you want to call yourself doing innovation, you're there, horizon 2, reinventing the current business. And to start, I really recommend to see where the main focus of your company is, where your company is stuck. Because if you're an established company, an established industry, to be honest, most of the activities are between business as usual and digitalization. Why is that interesting and important to know? Because you know how many problems you will face in the future. The bigger the gap is between where you need to do your job and the company is, the more challenges you need to face. You can ask yourself now where your company is stuck and then how many problems you will have to do your innovation job. This is quite interesting to use that model in the beginning because you will understand how the organization thinks. When you are doing innovation, you basically in the visionary field, yeah, you have visions, you have plans on how to change the business, yeah, but the rest of the company is basically very much in the beginning on age 0. So they have the same business logic that they're used to. When you come there as an innovation manager and says, well, we can do it differently, you will face a lot of problems because they are sometimes really stuck in the same business logic. So if you come and say you can change everything, very different. I will show that in some examples later on also. So, third recommendation, clarify what innovation really means. What is innovation for you? Does anybody has a good sentence that describes what innovation really means? Some comments on that? No? That's maybe one of those problems you will face because there is no such a thing like innovation. Innovation means for everybody something different. When you come into a company that is in an established industry and you say, well, I'm head of innovation, let's do innovation. for the first time because it's a new created role, everybody will say, well, why? We are super innovative. We have been super innovative for 150 years, so why do we need to do innovation now? And that is really, really important to clarify what innovation really means. That was one of my biggest mistakes I made, because I came and I thought everybody knows what innovation actually means. So you step on many feet when you say that what is currently done is not super innovative. So it's super important to clarify, even with, especially with top management, what innovation really means. I will not go into detail with that, but I like this kind of three-way model that divides between disruptive creation, the blue ocean way, I call it. I'm a big fan of the blue ocean strategy. If you have not read the book, I just recommend, and non-disruptive creation. Disruptive creation, breakthrough in an existing problem. That's what the iPhone did in the mobile industry. Yeah, non-disruptive creation, Facebook, for example. In the first place, it was not disruptive because there was not the plan to disrupt the media industry when Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook in 2006. It became a certain kind of disruptive player for the media industry, but just after a while. Very other good example for non-disruptive creation, for example, is Yamba. Does somebody remember Yamba? The provider where you could download ringtones. First player in the market doing that. There were no disruption because nobody has ever done that before. Nobody was pushed out of the market because Yamba came into. Or the blue ocean way, redefining and solving an existing industry problem. Actually, my favorite, you take a problem that's already solved and you redefine it, maybe by just taking another target group you specialize on that is maybe neglected by the rest of the market. This is really important to clarify that in the beginning, because if not, you're always kind of, yeah, we are super innovative. What's actually your role? And putting a cherry on a cake is not innovation. So, and this is just one of the most important mini steps. Do not become too disparate. If you have done all those things I just mentioned earlier, that takes a lot of time and energy in established companies. How many times do you need to talk about what innovation really means? Yeah? Or where your company is actually investing the most activities into? Fourth, put innovation on the strategic agenda. Every company should have a strategy. To be honest, most strategy don't have any strategy, or at least not what you can call a good strategy. If you don't put innovation on the strategic agenda, you basically don't exist. Everything that's not on the strategic agenda is just nice to have. So the most important step in the beginning is to get your innovation topic on the strategic agenda. If not, the whole sense behind it comes, yeah, I don't know, like problematic, because if you start an established company and it's not on a strategic agenda, many people in your company will also not understand what you're actually doing. And then you get asked, yeah, can you come into our department and moderate some workshops? We have some ideas. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get a lot of good ideas from the workforce, but that is just idea management, that's not innovation management. So get it on the strategic agenda, and do not become too desperate, because that can take a long time. Imagine you start in a company that says, well, the first time we are doing innovation, and now this guy comes and says that needs to be placed on a strategic agenda. It's all about politics. Well, why is this topic then more important than others? And even if you get it done, you will have the first fights with all the others on how to do strategy management within the field of innovation. You cannot deliver a business plan or a business case before you have even put the first ideas on the table. So it's different. You're in an exploration field and you cannot plan everything. That's a totally different approach to many other areas the established company is doing. Very important then, set up in clear and easy innovation process. Does anybody of you have in his or her company an innovation process? Yeah? Okay. 2. This is really, really important because innovation is all about creativity, but it also needs guidance. So you need to set up a process that defines which stages the innovation goes through, the whole journey. So for example, in my company, we set up a few stages where it's explained what's happening, how decisions are made, how many budget is put behind, and everything. Without an innovation process, it's just chaos, and you will not have the chance to get your ideas on the market because you cannot explain anybody why and how. Make clear what you need to do your job. It sounds very stupid, but I talked earlier to somebody that has experience in insurance or in established industries. Most of the time, if companies in established industries establish innovation management, they hire one guy or one girl or whoever to do that job, and that's it. And then they think that innovation is just happening because this one person is doing everything, like a one-man army. It's impossible. You need to. I was one of my biggest mistakes in the beginning. I never talked about the first 6-8 months about what I actually need to do my job. And when I came then, you have the same arguments like all the time. Oh, well, that costs money and resources? We didn't think so, I mean, everybody knows that it costs money and people, but you need to clarify that in the beginning because most of the time you can hire from outside. You need to get your team from inside. And that's all about politics again. Why should somebody give you his or her resources to do innovative things when we actually doing innovation all the time, every day, everywhere? So clarify that and make clear that you need resources to do your job. It sounds very stupid, but when I talk to other innovation managers, this is one of the critical things that get neglected and addressed too late. And do not become too desperate again because those conversations are tough. It's all about power. Oh, well, you establishing a team and you get resources from somebody else. Somebody's empire gets smaller because he's boring people to you. That takes time and should not make you too desperate too early. I just recognize now that my presentation is a lot about desperation, but that's what you need to understand when you go into innovation, at least in established companies. Recruit the right people, most important thing. I mean, as I just said, most of the time you will not recruit directly from outside. You need to get your team from inside. And this is really critical because if you take the wrong people on that journey and you walk 2-3 miles up the mountain and people tell you that they actually don't like it because they did not know that it's somehow tough, or they don't like that it's get dirty, or they don't have the right shoes to walk up the mountain, that is a real problem. I mean, I guess everybody of you did make those experiences that you're working in a team and you think, well, by myself as a one-man army, that would have been easier. So really take time to recruit the right people and give them a lot of passion. What do I mean with this? It's all about motivation. If you recruit from inside, you have people, even if they have the skills and the mindset, you need to get them out of the comfort zone. And that takes a lot of motivation, skill training, and whatsoever, and time. Because you have people, they are super good at what they are doing, but they are stuck. I don't mean it in a bad way, but they are stuck with the kind of business they have been used to. So, and if you say, well, let's do innovation in insurance, and we don't need paper-based policies, 30 pages, complicated, nobody understands, because you want to sell it online for the first time, means you need to get those people that are super at their job, but you need to get them out of the comfort zone. And now it makes sense what I said in the beginning with the H0, H2. The business logic in established industries is still paying the bills, but you need to get them out of the comfort zone. And often you don't even have the arguments for it, because the history is easier to prove something with than saying, well, we have trends and beliefs. So that takes a lot of mental training, I call it, if you have that team. Only if you get them out of the comfort zone, if you get them used to living with fear, you're actually able to change something. That sounds also very stupid, but oftentimes that's the biggest problem in established industries, because they are just fearing of mistakes. You hear that in many conferences, and I heard that too, and I said, oh, Jesus, again. But how many times projects started, they failed, and then they never existed. And that was the beginning of, okay, we are not talking about the whole topic again. Yeah, 1 step ahead, 2 steps back. Yeah, that's along with don't talk too much. I mean, if you're outside the comfort zone, don't tell everybody, because people talk you down. Yeah, that will not happen, that will not work. We have not done that the last 150 years, so that will never work. Don't talk too much, just do it. And protect your baby. I mean, it sounds also very stupid, but in established industries, everything you do with real innovation is completely new. So you deliver babies, and you need to be aware that there is enough, or there are enough people that will do everything to talk you down and to prevent you from being successful. Because if you're successful, you will prove that a different way can work or is even better. So that's all about politics again. And you need to be aware that you need to protect your baby at any cost. Small, fast steps, fast results. When I started in insurance, I thought, well, just take the big things, the game changers. And I have a good mentor. He said, well, start with the low-hanging fruits and wait until you have enough credibility to go for the big things. I can just recommend that in every aspect of innovation, because if you start with the big things and you fail, you're gone. So that's what we made. We had a few ideas the last 3 years. I'm there since 2018. Not all of the ideas I put into the process made it through the process. At least 2 survived, are on the market. Coach Mineto, a platform that teaches, brokers that are paid on commission to become brokers that are more investment-like and more like consultants that are paid by the end user. Why is that important? Because now a regulation will most likely say, well, it's not a good idea, insurances and banks, that you pay sales guys for pushing out products maybe nobody needs just to get money. So there will be a regulation most likely from September 26 on. So that was a quite good idea. It's not a huge idea, but it was delivered quite fast. And was the beginning to create the whole process of innovation. And the other thing is Probezeitversicherung, the first completely digital product we delivered. In Germany, you have the kind of Probezeit when you start a new job. And we had good customer insights in the beginning that brought us to the idea that many people, especially if they are more established, they fear of switching jobs because they say, well, I don't know, I've been working for Telecom for 20 years. I don't like it, but at least it's safe. I don't like to switch because I have house and kids. Probation, I don't know. So we delivered this product. It's very easy to buy. It's fully digital. And if you buy it and you lose your job within the probation, we fill the gap, the financial loss you have between your current or your past salary and what you get from the government. So that's online for 4 months, and it's doing quite well. And there are 2 more new products in the pipe. One of them that will come next week. I cannot talk about that. If you're interested, follow me on LinkedIn. And another very good offering by the end of the year, hopefully, or the beginning of next year. That will hopefully change a lot in the industry, because my aspiration was also always, if I do innovation, then I do real innovation. Or not just like, okay, let's change a little bit and call it innovation. So repeat it until it becomes a new normal. If you have done that, if you lived through this journey a few times, you can improve and you can really change something if you survived. That's what I need to say. If you survived it 2-3 times, you can make it to the new normal, because people get used to it. They see, well, we will not change it anymore, we cannot fight it anymore, and it does not hurt so much. Last but not least, that's the most critical thing. If the CEO, if he or she is not on your side, really on your side, then just run away as soon as possible. Oftentimes, innovation managers get hired because it's on vogue to be innovative, on vogue to have somebody that takes care of innovation. But if they then feel that it takes a lot of energy and it costs money and it hurts somehow, then oftentimes people say, well, the way how we do it somehow is still okay, so I don't want to have that trouble. I'm very lucky, I have a very good boss. He's pushing a lot of things through with me together. But if it's not the case, just in case you have the opportunity to work innovation and you see, well, the most powerful person in the company is not behind you, just run away, because it's senseless. That were shared thoughts of mine. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions now or later, I'm available. And I would be happy also if you get in touch with me. So, thank you very much.